So Kamala Harris is out with a new ad against Donald Trump here. And really, it puts Project 2025 front and center as, something that it's easy to beat up on these Republicans when you bring up Project 2025, because it's basically like a 900-page document that is all of their horrible ideas that they have on a wish list. And all you got to do is skim through it, and you're like, oh, shit, these things are deeply, deeply unpopular. All right, so let's watch, and then I'll break it down for you. Let's get it.
Donald Trump's back, and he's out for control.
I would have every right to go after them.
Complete control.
I will wield that power very aggressively.
And he has a plan to get it.
Detailed plans for exactly what our movement will do.
It's called Project 2025, a 922-page blueprint to make Donald Trump the most powerful president ever. Overhauling the Department of Justice, giving Trump the unchecked power to seek vengeance, eliminating the Department of Education, and defunding K-12 schools, requiring the government to monitor women's pregnancies, and severe cuts to Medicare and Social Security. Donald Trump may try to deny it, but those are Donald Trump's plans.
Well, revenge does take time, I will say that. And sometimes revenge can be justified.
He'll take control, we'll pay the price.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
That's a solid ad. I'd say that's a solid ad. That's like a B+ type ad, in my opinion. So right off the bat, I should explain that Trump likes to pretend like, bro, Project 2025, I don't even agree with them. I don't even think they got some crazy stuff in there, bro. I'm not even with that. I don't even like that, bro. No big deal. But the problem for him is, number one, there are like dozens of people who were in his administration who were like the authors of Project 2025. He's praised the head of the Heritage Foundation who spearheaded Project 2025. He spoke at Heritage Foundation events and said, you guys are laying out the blueprint and you guys are going to be in my administration. In the past, Heritage, stacked his administration. This time, they're going to stack his administration as well. Stacked, whatever. You get the point. They're going to be the ones who choose the personnel, and then these people will get to work on what the agenda is. The idea that, bro, I'm not even with that, bro. No, I think the reason why Trump says that is, number one, he knows the Democrats can attack him pretty easily over this, but number two, on issues like abortion, which it's in Project 2025, and they're super right-wing on it, he's trying to moderate the language on that issue, and he knows that this is an albatross around his neck, that you have this document which is super extreme, which is tied to him. So he's like, bro, I don't even agree with that, bro. So it's getting in the way of him trying to pretend to be more moderate at the moment, right? Now, beyond that, there's an even more important answer to this question, which is Trump released his own agenda called Agenda 47, and Agenda 47 is just like all the ideas in Project 2025 minus the stuff on maybe gay rights and abortion. Everything else is there, right? So it's a good ad. I said it was a B+. The reason I say it was a B+ is because I think you're missing some of the more visceral attacks against Project 2025. Like, for example, they, of course, want to ban pornography. Now, I don't expect Kamala Harris to bring up Republicans trying to ban pornography in an ad, because she probably just wants to stay away from the whole topic of pornography, which I understand. But there's other things also that are a visceral gut punch against this horrific platform. Cutting overtime pay. They want to cut overtime pay. They want to roll back child labor laws. They want to destroy the EPA. They want to destroy the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. The whole idea of it is bringing back this thing called the unitary executive theory. And the unitary executive theory is, we don't really like checks and balances. So we don't want any checks on Trump. We want him to stack the administration with loyalists, and he gets to do whatever the fuck he wants to do, and he could even override and overrule Congress and go around Congress whenever the hell he wants. And remember, guys, when you're talking about a Republican president, these guys like unitary executive theory. The second it's a Democratic president, it's, oh my God, we need checks and balances, and they shouldn't do any executive orders whatsoever. So that's the idea behind it. Look, if I was her, I would have brought up some of those things, especially the getting rid of overtime pay. I mean, that's so, Like, literally everybody is against that. Everybody. Literally everybody's against rolling back child labor laws, but red states are literally in the midst of doing it already. And then finally, I'll end with this. They also, want to ban IVF in there. If I was her, these few facts have really stuck with me, and these are things that Kamala and her team need to remember. Number one, 48 Republican senators voted against IVF. They voted to ban IVF. Number two, they also want to target no-fault divorce, which is extreme and insane and super fundamentalist type shit. They just want to control your life. They want to control your private life, your personal life. Ironically, as they pretend like they're pro-freedom. No, you're not. If you're trying to ban no-fault divorce, that's authoritarian as hell. The next thing is there are 36 Republican senators who voted the other year against gay marriage. It was like 2023, and they voted against gay marriage. In fact, 169 Republicans in the House voted against gay marriage. I think that fact really just highlights how extreme these people are and how out of step with the average American they are. And then finally, 44 Republicans also voted against extending the child tax credit in the Senate, as they pretend like they're the pro-family people. They're not for paid family leave. They're not for paid sick leave. And they were against the child tax credit being extended when it actually came time to vote on it. These are all things you can and should hit them with. So again, it's a good ad, but I'd sharpen it up a little bit with some other parts of Project 2025 that I think have just as much of a sting, if not a bigger sting, particularly the cutting overtime pay, rolling back child labor laws, banning IVF, banning no-fault divorce, things like that. So anyway, there you have it. Overall, so far, I think optically she's running a pretty solid campaign so far, and I think the Kamala people are way more competent than the Biden people were. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.